Now let's bring in humanitarian and development program expert, Dr. Chris Chinedmuije. Thank you very much for joining us on Newsnight. Well, you heard the president there.
Yes.
I mean, while endorsing the Global Alliance Against Hunger and Poverty, he did not fail to, paint a picture of the really dire situation that African countries are facing, as a matter of fact. Now, I mean, what do you make of this endorsement? What does it do, to the hunger and poverty problems in Nigeria and indeed Africa?
Yeah, first of all, Mr. President has done a very excellent job to project to the world what the issues are. And I'm sure the world leaders that have converged in the G20 summit are aware of these concerns because they read and they know what the issues are. But it's time we move from projecting what the issues are to talking about what we want to do or how we want to address these issues. Right. Yeah, so as the president of Nigeria, I expected more to see, we have these issues, but my government is committed to doing this, and this over a period of time, or over the next 30 months, 36 months, to see that we achieve significant success. Because, the instrument has been endorsed by about 81 nations, and also the multilateral and development partners who are also part of the team. But they would want to hear because if they have the monies, they would want to know what to put the monies in.
Right.
And what framework is there, the accountability mechanism in place to ensure that even when we put our monies there, it's not going to go to the wind and all that.
Let's talk about, that point that you raised, that you expect to hear more about the strategies that have been put in place thus far in checking hunger and poverty. Take the case of Nigeria, for example. I mean, there's been the conditional cash transfer. Early this month, we heard from the government that about 25 million Nigerians have received 25,000 naira in the conditional cash transfer. Looking at that as a strategy in pushing back poverty and hunger, how effective really do you think that is?
First, when we look at poverty reduction, conditional cash transfer or social safety net programs is just one dimension of the interventions. Because when you look at poverty, you're looking at social safety net, you're looking at education, you're looking at access to health, you're looking at agriculture and food security, you're looking at infrastructure development, you're also looking at empowerment. All right, and all these contribute to reducing poverty. Yes, so many Nigerians have received 25,000 naira, and they are receiving it over a 3-month period or maybe a 6-month period, as the case may be, if they receive additional financing. And so what?
Are we able to track this? Yes. 25 million Nigerians.
And so what? So the head of the social safety net programs, the NTIPA or the man in charge of the conditional cash transfer should be telling us, we disbursed so and so. Mind you, it's a conditional cash transfer.
Yes.
All right, so they have to tell us if the conditions for which they are disbursing that made them eligible for the cash transfer is being met, and how they are tracking it. For example, they are giving conditional cash transfer to extreme vulnerable households to ensure that their children are enrolled in school. So if the beneficiaries are receiving, it should translate to reduced number of out-of-school children.
Yes.
All right. If we're talking
about 20 million?
Yes, about 20 million. UNESCO, UNICEF, 13 million. There are different projections, but the figures are very alarming. So if you're looking at access to health, you're giving conditional cash transfer so that mothers can send their children to the hospital for immunization. We need to see those indicators, how that cash transfer is translating to it. If you're looking at conditional cash transfer to have young Nigerians access skill centers, all right, it should also translate to if they are acquiring skills and what have you.
In your estimation, what would be the most sustainable poverty and hunger reduction strategy?
Yes, poverty reduction requires a multi-sectoral and interministerial approach. All right. So these key ministries, Ministry of Poverty Alleviation, Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, as it's now called, yes. Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. There is one now on livestock development, and also Ministry of Works. They need to have an interministerial committee that also includes development partners, the UN, the World Bank, the private sector. Also, they have to sit down and come up with a robust strategy to ensure that and also a tracking mechanism that ensures that whatever each of these ministries is doing that contributes to poverty reduction, it's well tracked, and it has to be really, really collaborative. But unfortunately in Nigeria, what we have when we talk about poverty reduction, the first thing that comes to mind is a palliative party. Right. It doesn't deliver any result. Yeah, it goes beyond that, actually.
Unfortunately, we don't have much time. Dr. Chris Chinedmuije, humanitarian and development program expert, I'd like to have you back again on Newsnight, because, I mean, this is a continuing conversation around poverty and hunger.
It will be my pleasure.
Thanks for joining us.